Yes. Absolutely. We just record it and put it in YouTube.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this session. My name is Parag Amin, and I'm going to be moderating this session. We have pretty distinguished individuals here on the panel today. We're missing a couple of them. But what we're going to do is just give each one of them an opportunity to introduce themselves, tell us a little bit about what they do, companies that they're affiliated with, and then we'll go, right after the introductions, we'll go back to each one of them telling us a story of who they are, what they bring to the table, and what are their technological contributions to this area. And after that, we'll kind of go into this interactive dialogue where we'll see how companies within the UAE environment, how can they become global players in terms of technology. With that said, Mr. Al, where's yours?
Yeah, my name is Esko. I'm working for a company, Nokia. I'm basically board member of Nokia since late 2008. Before that, I spent 5 years as president of Finnish Innovation Fund. Very exciting combination, completely public fund, but making risk investments. Actually, the first venture capital investor in Finland, which is, I think, very exceptional that venture funding has been started by a public institution. And before that, I spent 20 years in Parliament. I was member of Parliament in Finland and Prime Minister of the country between 1991 and 1995. And before that, different type of roles in political direction. May I wait before I...
Yes, we'll go to the introductions, please.
My name is Michael Hagström. I'm heading up SAS, a software company specializing in analytics in Europe, Middle East, Africa, and Asia Pacific. Where we have our largest operations. Some of the areas we focus on is ranging from homeland security to risk management in banking, fraud management or customer management, web analytics, text mining, wide range of areas. But effectively, it's the use of analytics to be a catalyst for innovation and also to meet some of the more challenging tasks and goals. One of the conversations that just came off actually kind of last week was how to meet the challenges that are presented by the Millennium Goals by the UN. And I think the conclusion was that there's a small miracle or a lot of innovation required to meet them. So these are the types of areas where we're trying to
probably go.
use some analytics.
Okay, my name is Anand Shankaran. I come from a company called Wipro, which is based out of India. I'm from Bangalore, which maybe has 500,000 IT professionals working for global companies. I run the business for Wipro in India, Middle East, and Africa. And for us, this particular region has been extremely strategic for the last 5 years, where our growth rates have been much faster than our other global geographies. So we've grown this region at a CAGR of close to around 35% as compared to our global growth rates of 20-22%. So it's been a very successful inroad that we made in this region. I'll talk about our experiences in the region more as we go around.
Okay, my name is Andrew Shaw. I'm the Managing Director of Ducap, Dubai Cables, and perhaps on this panel I'm a representative of what you might call pole technology. We actually make things, also not something associated with Dubai. Ducap manufactures power cable, electric power cable, pretty much the full range. We have 3 factories, 1 in Dubai and 2 in Abu Dhabi. We're about the second biggest in the GCC. We employ 1,000 people, and we are 100% UAE company. We're owned 50% by Dubai and 50% by Abu Dhabi. So in that respect, also quite unique. I don't think there's anyone else with quite the same board composition as we have in Dubai.
I'm Tahir, Akhtar, a physician by training and involved in technology, but mostly the medical technology. I was a liver transplant intensive care specialist in my previous life. So the medical technology I'm quite familiar with, and then made my move into the more commercial arena and came into as an entrepreneur various businesses, so have had the chance of winning and losing 17 businesses so far. I am director of IXL Center, which is our innovation capability builder. We are based out of Boston, but we have our offices pretty much around the world. And we see the problems with inventions, innovations, and technology firms, whether they are in the medical or whether they are in the IT or in any sphere, simply that they are only focused on their product and not focused on their customer. And we specialize in building the insights into what the future holds for those businesses.
So, my name is Peter Storm. I am Dutch, and I represent globalarena.com, which is a relative new company, a startup, you can effectively say, that was started in 2008. And globalarena.com is already the leading platform of global business locations. What we do is we help companies identify the best business locations for their business needs. We help business locations like Ras Al Khaimah identify and target investors that best fit their economic policies and strategies. And we provide input to economic policy development based on our experience, what works and what doesn't work. Like I said, I'm Dutch, but I live and work out of Zurich. I was with my family in the process of relocating to Finland to join my services department in Hewlett Packard to work for Nokia.
What a mistake.
What a mistake. But as a fanatic mountaineer, Switzerland actually appeared to be a slightly more suitable country, so that the company asked whether I would want to help them run their global business in consulting. I gladly said that I would also be willing to go to Zurich. And I helped HP on their global resource allocation strategy. That's where the experience came from Hewlett Packard. I got connected to Mr. Richter, not in Zurich, where we both have our office, but we met by a joint acquaintance during the process with the United Nations in China 2 weeks ago. And he asked me to join this forum because we both have an interest in global business locations and global business activities.
So as you can see, we have a highly distinguished and very diverse panel here, from a head of state to former head. Once a head of state, always there. You ask President Clinton, he still calls himself President Clinton. So. But
I agree.
Good point. Having said that, I think we'll have each one of our panelists tell their story relating to the UAE and their business, and how can they advise UAE businesses on being global technology players. So, sir.
How much time do we have?
Well, initially I had said 3 to 5 minutes, but since we've shaved off a couple of speakers, I think we can take 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay, fine.
That'll give us enough time for an interactive dialogue.
Actually, I would like to move on what I said this morning in the opening panel. I have been witnessing now at Nokia the final phase of connecting people. And this is probably the most exciting industrial story ever written. It started in the 1980s. I personally started to participate in that revolution in 1990 when I got my first mobile device. It was called Model Gorbachev. I will not tell you the story, but it's a very nice story how the name was given. But the weight of the device was 800 grams. It was not pocket size. Can you imagine what was the price of it? 1990. How much did you have to pay for? Very good guess. 2,300 euros, so more or less 3,000.
At that time, yeah.
And it was coming down already, so it was 6,000 only a couple of years before. And there were 10 million mobile phone users in the world. I was one of 10 million people who had mobile phones. And Nokia was very close to bankruptcy in that time. And the company decided that it will sell all other assets except mobile business. Mobile business was 20% of Nokia's total business in 1991 when that decision was made. And Nokia estimated that very optimistic exception